What's up, everyone? It's Cannan, and welcome to a new episode of Internet Mysteries. Now, originally today, we were going to do a Ruby What If, but Jess is busy once again, so she was not available to take part in recording, and I didn't want to do one without her, so that'll be moved to Friday. And, when I started this series, at the heart of it, it's to cover mysteries from the internet. Stuff that has happened that people wonder, did it really happen? Was it real? Was it fake? But in tonight's episode, we're talking about something that there's really not much mystery to until the end of the story, because there's a big question mark at the end of this. Now, of course, this series does deal with stuff that is not for the faint of heart, and we will be talking about some very not so nice stuff in this episode, so I am going to give a content warning for that, because this show is definitely not for kids. But this is the story of a Reddit user who went by the name of CarlH. Now, I'm not going to show the stuff on screen this time because I do not think this individual really deserves to have his face seen or anything like that, because he did some very awful stuff. I will leave the link to the site that I'm using. It is a site called medium.com, and it's funny. This article was posted yesterday, right when I was planning on doing this particular topic. This popped up, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. So this all started in 2009 when a Reddit user by the name of CarlH started a subreddit. And it was pretty much for free programming lessons. The guy's name was Carl Harold, and he gave lessons on programming from basic to advanced. And of course, the subreddit started getting attention, because if you ever have anyone that is willing to give free lessons on programming, people who are interested in programming but don't know a lot about it are very, very open to taking part in it. So after it started to blow up, he started a blog called computerscienceforeveryone.com, where he would regularly blog about programming and other computer related stuff. He even had a YouTube channel, and he gained about 34,000 subscribers. So this guy was making a name for himself in computer programming. And viewers, they went as far as thanking him on Reddit and said that they changed their lives, and how for the first time in their life they were able to understand programming, which I'm not a programming whiz at all. I know nothing about programming, so I mean, I'm sure if I was interested, I would look for something like this, something free and something easy to understand. And apparently he was very active. He tried to help everyone he could, and he gained such a following that he reached a milestone of being praised as the Redditor of the day. And looking into this guy, there's not a question of how he did this. People felt like he was giving such great advice for free. And he was named on July 26, 2012 as Redditor of the Day. And he even went as far as to start taking one-on-one Skype calls where he taught programming to people. And really at first glance, this was a Cinderella story in a way for someone, giving your knowledge on programming and actually paying off. Now, going forward, I would always state to people, always be careful who you talk to on the internet, because you really never know who is truly behind that other keyboard. Now, of course, there have been plenty of people who have made great friends off people they've met off the internet. I mean, I met Jess off the internet. So, I mean, there are every now and then legit people that you do meet who are exactly who they say they are. But in this case, CarlH was not all he cracked up to be. And it all started in November 2013 when things started to go a little strange. He completely disappeared. Like his YouTube channel, his website, his Reddit they were just inactive, while people, were left waiting for the next post. And at first, his followers desperately, were trying to find out what happened, if he was okay, and after a while, everyone started assuming that he might, be really sick or taking a break. Though usually if you're really big on social media, or if you're a YouTuber, 9 times out of 10, you'll take time, to make a little 2-minute post or a 2-minute video or 5-minute video saying you're taking a break, or you're sick, you need to take some time off for your health. Usually 9 times out of 10, if you just flat out disappear, something really bad has happened. Either sadly the creator has passed away, they've gotten very deathly sick, they had a passing in the family, or in some cases they got in trouble with the law. And so anyway, at this time in Alabama, right down south from me and Jess, the FBI received now here's where things get sticky, guys. The FBI received pornographic media of a 9-year-old boy. They found out within a week that the boy was captive for months, as 2 men sexually tortured him and filmed it. And they were actually running a pedo distribution ring. And what got even worse is that the boy was Carl's own son. He was kept hostage for nearly 2 years while all this went on. It's awful, guys. It turns out Carl was a severe child molester, and he had a partner who took part in it as well, and they were both arrested. So as news got out, a Reddit member did post a link that explained everything, and followers were unaware, of course, of this sadistic life that he had behind the computer. And of course, followers couldn't believe that someone that they had grown to like so much, someone who they had talked to one-on-one, that they, I guess, felt like they owed him something for all the knowledge he had given them. They could not believe that this man was a monster in his personal life. Now, of course, this left many people angry and enraged. The subreddit was filled with hate, and on the YouTube channel as well, just hateful comments all over the place, which is, of course, understandable. So both Carl and his partner, Charles, Dunavant, in November 2014, were indicted on 30 counts. Harold faced 18 counts for several alleged crimes: conspiracy to commit sodomy, conspiracy to commit sexual abuse, and just everything else. And as, of course, aggravated child abuse. And he had actually been in the middle of an extradition for federal child pornography charges in New York. And he was scheduled to appear in federal court in Syracuse on November 21st. So this all, just blew up one right after the other. Now, here's where things start to get into the mystery a little bit. On November 3rd, Harold was found dead inside his cell at Clay County Jail. He committed suicide by hanging himself, of course, using a bed sheet. Of course, this made headlines all over the place, on regional newspapers at least. I don't know if this was a worldwide or a countrywide thing, really. The cell authorities were interviewed, and none of them had any clue of suspicion that he would do something like this. His lawyer would go on to state that it was a shock to him. The last time when he met him, he was in high spirits. He seemed up and was ready to continue fighting this case. So we have a classic case here of clearly the scumbag of the earth. Anything you do to a child is unexcusable, and gets caught and is awaiting, trial and all that to be, to given their punishment, and they commit suicide in their cell. A lot of people would say, coward's way out, wouldn't face the consequences of what he had done. And it's weird because in July 2016, on a Saturday, there was a post on the old subreddit which left a lot of people shocked. It was Carl claiming to be alive. The name of it said, "Hi, it's me from heaven. I escaped from the morgue." So it went on this whole thing that he was alive, that he somehow escaped from, that he faked his death. He had escaped the morgue. Okay, that's like some real Houdini shit right there. And that he now lived in Russia, and he was going to submit an AMA for proof. So listen, I don't care how good someone claims they are, but to fake your death, for someone to declare you legally dead and then get taken to a morgue and you escape without anyone knowing, there is no possible way. So, of course, the thread got filled with offensive comments, and of course they were asked for proof. They didn't reply, and Carl went missing from the website again. Never came online again, never posted anything. And so here's the thing. What was this? A lot of people think there's one of two cases. It was a hacker who somehow managed to get access to the account and was being a troll, or it was Carl himself. I highly doubt it was Carl himself. So this is where the mystery comes on. There's a lot of people that believe that he is in fact gone, and then there are theorists that think that he is still alive. And it even says here there was very little to no proof of his death actually happening, other than just comments from the authorities. Somehow his Reddit and his YouTube channel are still up. I don't know why YouTube has not deleted that. That's kind of something that YouTube should do, is delete this scumbag's channel. Same on Reddit for getting rid of his Reddit, but so, and it even states right here, it's all become a part of chilling internet history. Who posted that thread on Reddit still remains a mystery. So this is where we're getting into the internet mystery part of it, guys. So once again, doing anything to a child, whether it be this, abusing them, murder, it's never a good thing. It's despicable, it's disgusting. People who think it and enjoy it are just scum of the earth. But this lends credence to, you never know who you're actually dealing with if it's someone you've met completely on the internet. Now, I'm not saying you have to be suspicious of every single person you meet, and most times you meet someone on the internet, it's just for daily interactions. It never goes beyond that. And, you know, would some people say that both me and Jess took risks meeting each other? Maybe a little bit, but then again, me and Jess had talked for almost a good 10 years before we actually met. And we had talked to each other on the phone. We had talked to each other through webcam. Plus, there was other people around when we first met, so it's not like we met completely alone. So who was the one that made the post? Now, of course, there's the two obvious options. It was a hacker, and the other one was Carl himself. Like I said, I highly doubt it was Carl himself, because it's just, you don't want to make this guy out to be some kind of James Bond super spy who, using his intellect, somehow fooled the authorities and fooled everyone else and got away scot-free. I don't want to think that stuff like that actually happens. So more than likely, it was a very skilled hacker who decided it'd be some sick joke to post like this, because they were never heard from again. They never posted. They never showed proof. And, you know, there's people like that on the internet who will make jokes, think they're funny when they're really not, and they know they can get away with it because you know, the protection of being anonymous on the internet gives you. But let's talk about this real quick. What would have had to have happened for this guy to get away with this? So he would have, of course, like we said, had to fake his own death. They would have had to have confirmed his death, you know, by examining him. So he was somehow able to fake a broken neck and then get brought to the morgue. And before they did anything to the body, he just walked on out, or he went into the ducts and made some glorious escape. Okay, so for one, if this was to have happened, there would have been reporting on it. You know, internet child abuser escapes, you know, fakes death and escapes. There was never anything like that. But then again, a lot of people have said that there was little to no proof of his actual death, just the authorities confirming it. And usually, you know, you can get online, you can find public death certificates all the time, just like you can a birth certificate. And apparently, I don't know if anyone has ever looked that far into it to see if they can find a death certificate. But yeah, there's usually that stuff, and apparently, according to this case, there was none. So it's very strange. Like, why was this one particular case? So, like, why was there not more, you know, documentation of it? And it could be for the fact that the justice system just saw this guy as scum of the earth, that they just weren't going to pay much mind to it. I mean, that could definitely be a factor. Then, of course, you know, people who commit crimes against children do not fare well in prison. You could have someone that's a serial killer, but the moment they learn that you've killed a kid, that draws the line for them, because a lot of them have kids that they wish they could see, and to a lot of them, that's just a line you do not cross. You do not kill children. Well, or do anything to them. He didn't kill children in this particular case, but you don't do things like that. And so could be a theory of, did a prisoner do it and they just covered it up as the guy took his own life. Now, I don't want to say this stuff, like, you know, I don't have any confirmation this kind of stuff happens, but, you know, there's been talk of certain individuals getting taken care of by other prisoners, and the prison guards just, you know, turn the other cheek, and then when it gets reported, you know, they say, oh, he let's just say he hung himself. Who knows? Because I could definitely see this guy not doing well in prison. I think the other prisoners would have definitely, if they had gotten their hands on him, things would have probably been way worse than just rotting in prison is concerned. So I don't know. This is kind of I'm just going to stick with he is gone. And this was just a hacker who thought he'd be edgy and all that and be like, oh, I'm still alive, guys. I'm gonna send you proof and I'm gonna start my programming business up again. And that's just, I mean, trolling is one thing, but when you try and do something like this and consider it trolling, that's not trolling. That's just being a sick individual. And yeah, just a really downer of things to talk about. But this is what this series is here for. It's to talk about stuff that could have happened or did happen, but still has a bit of a mystique about it because, let's face it, this particular thing did not end with a closed door. It actually ended a little bit open, because the people who could confirm this are not giving the information up. And people are still talking to this about this to this day. A great channel, Nexpo, did a video on it. Go check that video out because it is really, really well done. Probably gives a bit more info than I did, but then again, this is a short little series, kind of much a little bit of a summary series than anything else. Maybe one day I'll do a really super long video discussing some things in detail. But yeah, this was a rough one, so I didn't want to talk in length about some of the things that he was accused of because it's really difficult to talk about and I don't want to think about it. But yeah, that's the story of the Redditor that was known as CarlH, scumbag of the earth, who sadly probably took the easy way out instead of actually answering for his crimes. No information about his son, what happened to him, if he is doing all right. I could not find any concrete info on that. Hopefully the son is fine. Any of the other kids that this scumbag affected, and don't know much about the partner as well. It seems like whenever you find a story on him, it just focuses on him. But if anyone's got any information on the son or the partner, if the partner is still in jail, which I'm guessing he more than likely still is, hopefully, and but hopefully the son and all the other kids are all right. I didn't find any information that he actually killed any of them, but just awful, it's an awful thing. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button. As always, guys, me and Jess love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.